One way of identifying selection sort from insertion sort, bubble sort, and any other sorting algorithm is that an insertion sort has two for loops. Think of it like that in layman's terms. If you have some difficulty understanding or differentiating between the two, just think of it like that in the way I code it. Of course, if somebody gives you the code, it can be different. Two for loops for a selection sort. All right. Then I is equal to 0. Okay. And then you're going to say I is not equal to. Actually, no, let's not say not equal to. Let's say I is less than n minus 1. Okay. And then you're going to say I plus plus. Fine. Then you're going to say for int j is equal to I plus 1, and then j is less than n and j plus plus. Alright, now that's pretty much what our selection sort algorithm is. Now look, let me explain. In insertion sort you have two variables, one is I, one is j. In the beginning, I is initialized to the first element. Okay, that's why it's 0. And I is gonna loop till 1 less than the end of the array. J on the other hand, when I is like say at 0, j is 1 after I. That's why we have I plus 1. So wherever I would be, j would be one after that. So if I is here at 3, j would be at 20. And that's why also j starts at the second element and it ends at the last element. I does not touch the last element, j touches it. So yeah, just remember that. That's why we have j less than n and I less than n minus 1, because we want I to be less than one element. Now then inside of both of these for loops, inside the second for loop, you're gonna have your swap function, and everybody knows how to swap something inside of an array. Yeah, come on, it's just such a small basic question. You can use maybe even a built-in function if you like, but let's just go simple. Okay, now what does this mean? This if statement, what it does is it checks if the second element is smaller than the first element. So look, inside of this array which I'm creating, I have 1 and 2, right? Actually no, not 1 and 2, let's say 3 and 1. Is the second element, basically j, smaller than the first element, which is I? That's true. So then what you want to do is swap it. Alright, you want to have a swap function. How are you going to do that? You're gonna make it so it's 1 and 3. So how do you swap? Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody knows how to swap. You're gonna first, step 1 is create a temporary variable and set a, or the first element. Actually you can put the first or the second element, doesn't really matter. I'm putting the second element, or the second element inside temporary. Then I'm gonna make a, or the first element, equal to the second. Actually no, let's just do it like this. This is how it should be. I'm making the second element hold the value of the first element. Okay, and then I'm gonna say the first element is going to store the value of t. So this is basically a swap function. If you don't understand it, just sit down and just practice it a little. I'm sure you're gonna get it after a few practices. Oh, you're gonna perfectly understand it, right? So now this is my array. This is selection sort. So simple. You have two for loops. The first for loop is for I, the next for loop is for j. I starts here, j starts there, and I ends here, j ends there, and inside of the second you just have a swap function. Simple. What's really difficult about that? So if I'm just gonna run this, you can see that this is my array. I'm gonna run this out, and if our function is working properly, then okay, it's not working properly. So n basically is the size of the array. Forgot to tell you. It should be 5 minus 1. So 5. Wherever there's n, you're going to put it with the length of the array. So if this works correctly right now, you can see it does 1, 3, 5, 20 and 44. If you want this to sort it in descending order, just going to swap that like that. Okay, swap the angle bracket a bit. And then you're going to see that it sorts it the other way around. How cool is that? So yeah, thanks for watching.